Welcome to the LoCoFit show. I'm your host, Lauren Conlon. Each week, we bring you the best insights in nutrition, mental health, habit building, training, and more. This week, I'm joined by all the coaches for a Tits Out podcast. We'll be playing Never Have I Ever Fitness Edition and ending with a rapid fire smash or pass. We hope you guys had as much fun listening as we had recording it. Enjoy the shit show. Okay, we are back. Tits Out podcast. We are doing Never Have I Ever, the fitness edition. And we came up with a bunch of good questions. And of course, we will make this funny and educational. But really fast, I feel like we need to have a poll for this. Apparently, I say hiatus and everybody else says hiatus. So if you're listening to this and you can comment somewhere, please let me know that I'm correct.
Comment on our YouTube channel how you say hiatus.
I feel like I would never say hiatus. I feel like I always say, but I also say sedentary. How do you guys say it?
Sedentary?
Okay.
Terrible. Is there another way to say that?
Sedentary. I sometimes say that, but that sounds
that's not a thing. That's not a word.
You made that up right now.
Okay, well,
the one I hate the most is cement and cement. Like
cement.
Oh, a lot of people say cement.
Where are these people from? Do they do like
I don't know, but they're out there. Cement.
Cement. I feel like some people say creatine weird, and I can't think of how it's said, but when I hear it, I'm like, do you know what I'm talking about? It's not creatinine, because creatinine is its own different word, but it's like somebody will say creatine, but like creatine, or like, I don't know. I'm like, it's absolutely awful. Okay. Never have I ever. Let's go, Sam.
Okay. So these are mostly fitness and nutrition related. There are some in there that are just fun, but let's start off with the topic of the week. Actually, for the week that we're recording this, we're talking about fasting on the Instagram and on our podcast and everything. So never have I ever done a 24-hour, let's say 24-hour plus fast.
Okay. No, I have not.
I've done 22 hours.
Bro.
I've done one.
Called that 4 hours.
Yeah, I've done it once for religious purposes, and it was fine, but it's more like mentally hard than anything, because you're just like know all day that you can't eat, and it was so consuming. But
yeah, I've wanted to do it. I just like will try to think about doing it and kind of like forget, but I want to do it just to see like how it would feel. But for anybody listening, like to make it, I think a little bit easier, have like an early dinner, right? Like have like, maybe like 5 or something, so that you're like, all right, like I still have like a full belly, like going into like bed, but it's not like so late. And then that way the next day you're able to eat, dinner again at 5, which clearly is still like a long stretch, but at least it's not like, I don't know, I feel like you're maximizing the like digestion and the sleep process. And what was the hardest time frame for you guys when you did it? Like what like hours do you remember were like, oh my god?
Karina needs to share her YouTube video that she did when she had to do her, what was it? It was the YouTube video, right, Karina? With the 24-hour fast.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm struggling so much.
Yeah, for Dr. Camp, one of Dr. Campbell's assignments was for us to try to fast for 30 hours. Of course. And so I made it to 22 hours. I took my blood glucose all day long. I think the hardest part was like in the afternoon, because I did, Lauren, what you suggested, and I was like fine in the morning. And then I hit like I think there was like mid-morning, there was like 2 hours of struggle. And then once I got past that, I was like, okay. But then my favorite time to eat habitually too is just like in the afternoon and evening. So that was the hardest part. And that's when I was like, screw it. I'm going to eat this whole bag of like dried sweet potatoes. But, yeah.
Yeah, I would say mine was the same. Mine was afternoon. And it was worse because I had to get up early for work that morning. So I was up till like since like 3 a.m. So that's already just like a long day when you're already eating. And then by the time it became afternoon, I was like, no. And I ended up going to bed at like 7 because I was just like, I can't be awake and not eat anymore. So that's how I got through it.
Yeah, I've thought about it, but I haven't done it yet. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe this will prompt me to try it and just see
Film
what I
it.
can do. There's another YouTube video I could
Yeah, do it on
Yeah.
a day where you can like sleep a lot.
sleep in.
Like,
Oh yeah,
so you're not
definitely.
thinking about eating.
Yeah, I'll definitely eat like an early dinner, have like a hard workout, maybe like go to jujitsu and then just like sleep in and then like hope to maintain and just like drink coffee all day.
Just lay.
Totally
Okay.
fine.
Next one. Never have I ever cried over food.
Oh, I have. How do we say it? Like never or yes?
Like raise your hand or say like yes, I have.
I have. Definitely.
I don't think so.
Like not like a ridiculous amount, but like probably just like at the end of a prep, like you're just like so dead. Like I can't think of one time, but I'm sure there's been like a like just like a slight
Yeah.
I'm not like a big crier, but there are definitely times where like at the end of prep, like you will just be so overcome with emotions, like nothing could have happened, and you're just sitting there and you just feel like a wave of emotions, and you're like, oh, okay, this is really challenging right now for no reason. So I am sure, I can't pinpoint a time, but I'm going to say that I definitely probably have.
I did that one time. I was in prep, close to the end. We were moving across the country, and a friend of mine stopped by to drop something off for me. And I went to the front door, talked to her, and I came back, and my dogs had knocked my salad off the table and eaten it. And I didn't know how much I had already eaten. There was none left. And I DM'd Lauren sobbing, going, I don't even know what to track. I don't know how much I ate. I have no food left. And I was so emotional already because of just life that the food just threw me over. That was the one time where food was like, oh man. And then through my eating disorder days, I mean, there were times when like, yeah, of course that would just send you spiraling. But
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So on the other side, I've definitely cried like in my orthorexia days over like not feeling like any control around a cookie and then eating like 3 and then just being like, oh my God, so like, yeah, not so much in the prep. I definitely felt like so frustrated for example, if someone like accidentally ate my food where like I was on the verge of crying, but I never cried. But when I was like very orthorexic, I would cry in terms of like just feeling like disappointed or feeling like I just quote unquote poisoned myself with foods that were not clean.
Yeah. Just usually like at those like very like emotionally volatile states. It's not really even usually about the food. It's just like everything else. And then you're just like, oh, okay, there's tears.
Yeah.
There's water coming out of my eye.
Oh, okay. Next one. Never have I ever acquired a serious gym injury.
How serious is serious?
Let's say something that like laid you up for at least a week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What?
In the gym?
Yeah. So definitely my like weird, like still undetermined, like glute thing that I'm, dealt with for like 4 years. I definitely remember the day that I was training that I felt something a little bit off, but it wasn't like, oh my God, something like so catastrophic happened, but it was just like, oh, like kind of felt that a little weird. And then literally it was like for 4 years I was in pain. So it was just one of those weird, like it was nothing that was so severe that like it took you out completely, but it got to the point where it was like I couldn't really do my normal movements, and then I couldn't train legs, and I couldn't really do cardio, and then then sleeping hurts and whatever. So yes, that is super frustrating. That's probably been like my worst. I have obviously a ton of those just like getting banged up injuries, like, oh, okay, let me modify here and there. Obviously riding injuries. I used to ride horses, so plenty of injuries from that. And then
can we please upload at this moment the photo of Lauren in her 2 casts when she broke both her arms at once? Thank you.
yeah, sure. We should totally mock my lowest moment. I'm just kidding. It is a hilarious picture. I look so sad. I mean, obviously, but I'm just like, just so dead inside.
So.
Like, just both cat, like just imagine as a freshman, like that is all that you're known for. It was so horrifying. But anyways, so that, yeah, many injuries there. And then have also had injuries with jujitsu, but mostly with like my elbows and shit like that. Like, oh, you're just hyperextended. Now I can't straighten my arm for like a week, but I'm just an injury prone person is what it sounds like since nobody else is chiming in. So yeah.
I've never had a gym injury. But I did have to go to homecoming in a cast when I dislocated my own wrist because I was running and I fell on it. Like my body like crushed it the wrong way.
Oh, I did that. I shattered my elbow because I fell one time when we were running and I was like, okay.
We're not the most graceful team. Except for maybe Sam, because she dances, so she's the most coordinated.
Not anymore. I lost that when I had a kid. I don't know what happened there, but I can't even like find the rhythm of the song sometimes. It's really embarrassing. Yeah. No, I've never had a serious gym injury.
Damn, you neither did I know. What the fuck?
I had injuries from swimming.
Yeah.
But no, nothing in the gym.
How do you get a swimming injury?
You have like wear and tear of like shoulders and knees. So.
I was like, you like running into people? Like,
oh, I did. We were warming up. It was Junior Olympics in like 2008. It was years ago. I was like going into what it doesn't matter what year. Anyways, warming up, doing backstroke, and you're supposed to, swimmers who are listening, you're supposed to know the flag count. So like the flags are here, and then there should be like, hey, I get 4 strokes and I'm at the wall and I could turn and flip. So anyways, I guess maybe I was going faster or maybe the like distance was off. So anyways, I turn and I run smack into the like wall and it snaps my goggles and it like cuts. I still have a scar like right here on the bridge of my nose, cuts my nose. I was like sick. So that was a pretty bad injury. I won't say it's pretty bad, but that was a bad injury.
I swam briefly, so I know how much like momentum you go like with the flip into the wall. So I'm just like, oh my God, that sounds awful.
Yeah, and you're just like, yeah, I totally got this. So like, you're not even thinking like you're gonna fucking hit the wall, and you turn and you're like, pew.
Oh my God.
Oh hell no.
Damn, much more brutal sport than I thought. Next one. Never have I ever taken a week off from training.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm currently at 1 week today.
This is my week for the first time.
Yes.
And now I know like you have to do it because I did try to do a little bit of training, and then I spoke with someone who we're going to have on the podcast. He is getting his master's in my program. He is also a coach, has his own supplement line, owns his own gym. But because physically I feel fine, like I feel like I can go hard, but I feel like I don't feel like low or like depressed, but I feel like more tired, a lot less vigor. And so when essentially my CNS is still not recovered from like running a distance I have never run before, along with like the 22 hours of just straight adrenaline the whole day. So I'm still like crashed from that. And like I took 2 naps already today. It's like only noon. So yeah, I'm pretty dead. So I'm taking up until Saturday off of anything.
No, I think that's a really good idea. And I think that anytime we do something that is so taxing like that, it is a really good idea to give your body a break. Like, especially after, anybody who's ever done a powerlifting meet or trained, really hard for that, it is so taxing from that. Like, it's not as physically taxing because you're like, oh, I'm only doing like 9 lifts, right? But yeah. it is just, it's so different, right? And like your nervous system just isn't recovered. I would imagine obviously after the CrossFit tournament, it was similar. With bodybuilding, it's different because it's like I don't know, like you're just really physically run down, but it's not because of as much of the training. Actually, that week you probably feel pretty good because you've tapered. It's more so because you're just so dead of like no body fat. So obviously, usually like the week after, if somebody's done competing, we'll say like, yeah, just have like a fun week in the gym. Like, you don't have to do anything like super programmed, but you can still go in and move, and you'll probably feel actually better if you do train. It doesn't need to be super hard. trying to think what I did after my jujitsu. Actually, no, I didn't train after my jujitsu tournament because I got slammed on my back. So that was great. But so I think I recovered that week. But yeah,
'cause
I've done.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I've done them even not after sports, right? Like just because like, hey, like I remember I can think of like a trip I went on where it was like, you know what, like I just really want to enjoy this trip and like not gonna train. Like we were still moving around and stuff, but it was just like I don't want to like go into the gym for this, 5 days or whatever. And it was actually really nice. And then I like wanted to come back after.
Yeah, because like also serotonin and dopamine pretty much get depleted from something like that as well. And especially when I got back from Miami, it was like gray. So I didn't get any sun. My sleep had been horrible. So my plan is just to like sit in the sun as much as I can, get a bunch of light and just relax, do some yoga maybe. Yeah.
What about you, Danielle? Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, ever since, I would say up until I had kids though, no. Like I was like die hard, like no days off, like blah, blah, blah. Throughout my college years, especially like freshman year, twice a day. Like I would go in the morning before class and then again in the afternoon. But then ever since kids, you don't have that time. Like with keeping up with like family life and then making sure the house is clean and making sure that you do the job that you're supposed to do, like working from home and stuff like that. I'm on like a fucking 3-4 months without training, like consistently. I'll go like, on walks, I'll do a home workout, but I have not consistently been in the gym for several months now.
Yeah. But now you have the home workout program. So
yes.
We're
getting back there. We're getting back.
Yes. We wrote up a dumbbell only plan because, there are a lot of people who are, don't really have the option to either go to a gym or have access or have the time. So we did write that up and it's like a 10-week program and Danielle's actually going to start going through that. So
yeah, I did one workout and I was sore already. So that just shows you.
There we go.
No, it's good.
All right, next one. I'm kind of bouncing around here because there were light questions by each other, but never have I ever sent something back at a restaurant.
Oh, I do that.
I do that.
I'm sorry. I am that person.
Yeah.
Mostly, honestly, I mean, especially now, like I'm like way more clearly like laid back with food, but everybody knows, well, not everybody knows this, but if you don't know this, I don't eat cheese. So if I ordered something and I said, hey, no cheese, and it comes like, if there's a little bit of cheese in it and I can pick it out, like I can eat it. I just don't like it. Right. So I'll just take it out. But if it's like smothered in it, right, I'll be like, sorry, you know what I mean? Or if it just comes out like totally wrong, like, hey, sorry, you know what I mean? Like, this is not what I ordered. Not like, oh, they didn't make a certain specification, but if it was like something that was like so totally different, like, yes, I will not have a problem. Like, just, be nice about it. And if you can, like in my case, there's a little bit of cheese and I can take it out, no problem. Obviously if you have like a food allergy or something, it's a little bit different where people can't. I feel like people are way better, like restaurants are much better about that now. Like if I do say like, hey, I can't have cheese, I think they just assume that I have an allergy. So they like just don't put it on there now. Not always. Sometimes it comes and I'm like, okay, that's all. Let me pick that off. That happened when we were in Dallas. Actually, I ordered this like egg white, like English muffin sandwich. And I was like, oh, perfect. Like, I'm just going to have like double egg whites. Like this is going to be great. And then I like opened it and I was so excited. And I was like, what is that? And it was just like a thin slice of cheese, but it kind of had melted in there. So I was like, I was so hungry. And like, I knew we were going to present and like, I just didn't have time to eat. So I just like, I was able to pick it off, which was great. So that's an instance where it's like, okay, I'm not going to send back my $7 English muffin sandwich and be like, oh my God, excuse me. Like, no, just picked it off. But yeah, if it's like hella smothered, like, sorry.
I feel like I was scarred. My dad would like always be like, if the food was like wrong, he would either like make a big scene and be like, I don't want anything now. Like, no, I'm not hungry. Like now I'm scarred and we rarely ever send anything back now unless it's like, completely wrong, like you said. But I just hated that experience as a kid that I can't send food back anymore.
That's fair.
Yeah, I totally get that. And I do hate that they're gonna waste it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that. So if it's something that like I can modify, I'm like, it's fine. But like, yeah, because I just that kills me when like I don't know what they're just gonna throw it away. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It hit the table. That's disgusting.
Well,
I mean, maybe a server would eat it or like the dishwasher, but
yeah.
It depends on what like phase I'm at when if I'm going to send food back or not. Like I made a reels about this like a long time ago when reels first came out. Like if my food comes out wrong now when I'm not like prepping or anything, it's like, that's fine. I'll eat it. It's okay. It's okay. But if it comes out wrong when I'm like hungry and I can only eat specific things and I've pre-tracked this, whatever, like that is the situation where I'm like Karina, where she said like, you're so frustrated, you're on the verge of tears. It's literally like, what? I said no cheese. Like, and I think I did the Michael Scott, like, no, God, no, please, no. Like that is the visceral reaction when, and especially like, and I know there's a lot of amazing servers out there who can do this, but if I give you very specific instructions and you didn't write it down, I'm already having a panic attack when I'm telling you what I need. I'm like, oh, you're gonna fuck this up. I'm gonna be so upset.
Every time you order something, and I'm like, they're not writing this down. Like, yeah,
remember our brother in Plano who
yeah.
our brother didn't.
That was, there's a Ellen DeGeneres bit on this. It's like there's like 20 people at a table and the person is like, someone has like 18 specifications and everyone's like, he's not writing it down, he's not gonna get it.
He's not gonna get it. Yeah,
I get nervous when I don't write stuff down. I'm like, all right.
I can't remember something after 5 minutes, let alone like a table of orders. But y'all are a different breed. I'll give it to you.
Gonna make me cry. Okay, next one. Never have I ever had an embarrassing gym moment.
I mean, I'm gonna say yes, but I'm gonna think about it. But what is
mine?
You immediately.
Which one should I share? I'll talk about the one that I haven't shared on here already. So this was like when I first got into bodybuilding. If you are from the Orlando area, you know how big UCF is. UCF is a huge school. Their gym is also enormous. And if you go during rush hour, just know that they're in the weight room like area. There is like 100 people there and they're mainly guys. Okay. At this point, you know, I was like just a freshman and I was like single. So I was like, okay, I got to like be so cute and whatnot. And I like cared about what everyone thought about me. And so me and my friend go to a squat rack. I had never squatted with a barbell before in my whole life. I'd only squat like Smith machine and did leg press up until this point. And I put 225s on there and like, it's a totally
225.
No, 225.
Oh,
so
like a quarter.
It was 95 pounds total. It was 95 pounds total. But even if I was like, 130 pounds or whatever, like if your nervous system has not balanced a barbell on your back, especially that heavy, like something bad is gonna happen. So I go down to do one squat and I just fall back on my ass. And the barbell and like the plates fall off me, roll like 10 feet behind me into like this big group of guys. And it's so loud, you just hear the metal hit the ground and like literally 50 people turn and look at me. And I'm just on the ground, my barbell is still rolling. And I'm just like, I get hot red and like start to sweat. And so my friend who was with me just goes to get the barbell, like deadlifts it and brings it back. And then I just left after that.
Oh,
and it was like a hard like fall to the ground too, where like, where you fall on your back or your butt and you're like winded. So not only was I like super embarrassed, but like I was winded because I fell so hard. So yeah, that was embarrassing.
Totally.
So
totally understandable. Yeah, I mean, kind of similar. I mean, I don't even know if it was embarrassing because like I said, I didn't really care. But yeah, my first time ever like benching in high school, like legit, being generous, there was maybe 10s on it, but it might have just been the bar. I'm not sure, but let's just say it was 65 pounds. Anyway, so I'm going, and like I was doing a few, and then I just got stapled. Like I was talking like there was nothing left, and I was like, oh my God, like nobody happened to like be there. Like, like obviously I always have to have a spotter, whoever the fuck my spotter was doing. And like legit, I'm just like, I can't get this. And then like one of like the older, like good looking guys had to come over and was like, let me help you. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, really need that. And I was just like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Never want this to happen again. Must get strong. But yeah, that was hilarious. And I'm sure first of all, y'all know I have a terrible memory, but I'm sure I just blacked out all of the other embarrassing times that I've had. I've definitely had them.
I trip all the time in the gym, like all the time. And I always have to just play it off. But my most embarrassing moment, I don't know if I might have told this on the podcast already, or I know I've told all of you guys, but I was doing sit-ups on a glute ham developer, and my feet like just slipped out. And so I was like full on threw myself back to do a sit-up, and my feet slipped out and went over my head, and I grabbed the handles and I caught myself, and I did a full ass back somersault, landed on my feet, and I was just like did anybody see that? Like, I don't know if anybody actually saw it. My husband worked at the gym at that time, so I was so tempted to be like, can we get some footage of that? Because I fucking stuck that landing, but it was like I landed and I was like shaking because I thought I was going head first on the ground, but it was one of those like
wow.
moments I just grabbed on.
Petrified of those, and like absolutely petrified. And Ryan always used to be like, there's no way you can fall off. There's not even, physically possible. Look at this.
What is it?
The GHR.
Oh my God.
I have a super weird, like, I don't know. I don't do well with like me being off the ground and whatever. So I just would always get super nervous and be like, no, it can't happen. And then Sam told me the story and I was like, like, oh my God, like, this is exactly what I was worried about. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, y'all saw me on that playground. Like, I am not good with,
Yeah, I've done at least 500 GHDs and have not slipped out yet. So
it is a rare thing, but
now I'm gonna be like,
but I've never fallen off again. And we even have one. I've never fallen off doing like glute ham raises. I've only fallen off doing sit-ups, and it was the one time. And like to this day, I cannot in my mind figure out how both my feet just like pooped right out of there.
I don't know either, but that would happen to me. So that's why I don't do that.
Happens.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it has happened. It happens. I'm sorry to scare anybody, but it happens. Just wear like, bigger shoes. I don't know.
The roller, like the pads, if they roll, then like I feel like that's super dangerous. But if they're like glued on there and they don't rotate, then like all the ones at CrossFit gyms I've been to, they're like glued, so they don't rotate. Yeah. But I feel like if it would rotate, that would be a mechanism for slipping right out.
Yeah, it happens. Danielle, do you have any embarrassing gym moments?
Oh, I'm sure back when, again, with Karina, when I would dress up for the gym and like, wanted to be like all cute and thought everyone was watching me, thought I could squat way more than I could have. I busted ass on the USF gym like floor many, many times. So there's nothing one particular moment that sticks out like this scarred me. But I failed like bench or squat. Like my deadlift used to be atrocious, but I thought I was like amazing at deadlifting 225. I was like literally RDLing things off the floor. So, that's
erectors, nothing else.
That's embarrassing looking back on it, but nothing against Scar.
Yeah, like the dressing up for the gym used to be like, and now not saying that like I want to look like a hobo when I go to the gym, but like there was a difference of like you were like, I hope so-and-so is here and like I'm gonna look all cute. And like, y'all, my fucking gym clothes used to be so embarrassing. I used to cut every one of my t-shirts into a tank top. I used to roll down my low-rise shorts. Okay. Like I'm talking like the booty Nike, whatever the fuck they were called. Like everybody had them. I had like 100 pairs in every fucking color, and it was straight skanking it at the gym. Like I'm talking, like it was just such a bad t-shirt cut. Like, and then like just would always look super eccentric. Like, why?
Gosh, that should have been a one. Never have I ever like had a bad fashion sense in the gym.
Oh my God. So
bad.
So bad. And I know it doesn't matter, but
It mattered.
I'm so glad I still have those photos and we can go back and we can all laugh at them because I documented a lot of that.
A lot.
That was the thing.
Down.
Like, what?
I scrolled down to the bottom. It took me a long time. Scroll down to the bottom of her Instagram so I could get a screenshot for her new YouTube video. And like all of those photos are very cringy.
Oh my God, bro, I literally just, I just did not care at all. Like it would be a full gym and I am taking a photo. You know what I mean? Like I would rather die than do that now. You know, like it's just so funny, like how different, you know, we are now with just different stuff. You know, there's certain things now that I would do that I would have cared so much about back then that I'd be like, I don't care at all about this. And then other stuff like that, and I'm like, oh my God, why would you do this? Like, this is a hard no.
Okay, next one. Never have I ever been on a bro meal plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually haven't.
Either.
What?
I said lucky. That's awesome.
Yeah, like my first intro to bodybuilding was like the like meatheads at my gym, you know what I mean? And well, I guess they kind of told me like what to eat, but it wasn't like nobody like printed it off for me and was like, here's your plan. You know what I mean? It was kind of like, hey, you know, we're going to start here and then we're going to work down. And, you know, we would probably say you should, you know, work down this way. And if I look back now, I'm like, oh my God, I was not eating anything, but I also did like an 8-week prep, you know, so it was like one of those things. And then I started with like no cardio, then worked up to like a fuck ton. But it wasn't like, hey, you get tilapia and asparagus every day for the rest of your life. It was definitely more bro for sure, but it at least had like, it made sense what we were doing, you know, like, okay, we're going to start high and we're going to go down low. And clearly we would use different methods now. But it was definitely not the worst. And like all those people thankfully were like, yeah, like we'll help you, but like, we're not going to tell you exactly what to do because you need to learn. And I was like, oh, okay. Like it was a very unique environment that I like started my whole bodybuilding journey. But Danielle, who was your super bad meal plan from? Or maybe it wasn't bad, but who was your meal plan from?
I don't even necessarily remember her whole name, but it was a local like IFBB figure pro. It was like Team Hope or something like that. She was out of Tampa. So anyways, my sister was in prep for like her figure competition. I was like, I'll do it too. Like, I'm going to compete too. So anyway, she gave me it was like ground beef and brown rice in the morning. And then it was like tilapia and green beans for lunch. Your snack was, I think, like a protein shake and almonds. And then it was more ground beef and green beans for dinner. So it was awful. I mean, the ground beef and brown rice was like probably my favorite meal at that time. But I just remember like a weekend and I was like so pissed with my mom and I just was like angry all the time. I was like, this is obviously not working for me.
It's just so like crazy to think that like, because I've heard of that plan, right? Like so many ways for so long. And you're like, how is this still like a thing that people were like, you know what? Doesn't matter who you are, what your size is, what your goals are. Here's your plan. Like, and people still bought that, you know, like it's
I was still swimming at the time. I would wake up at 6 a.m., do my AM workout, And then we would do like strength training type stuff and then swim again in the afternoon after school. So of course I was fucking mad because I was exerting all this energy and then like barely eating.
Yeah. Yeah, Karina, obviously I know a little bit about yours, but definitely share the fantastic supplement that you had to take.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Protein.
So aside from the normal like chicken, turkey, tilapia, green beans, asparagus, sweet potato, rice, that was pretty much all I had. And then as I got in like closer to the show, I was pretty much limited to only green vegetables for whatever reason, like no colors, just green. Coconut oil is my only source of fat. And then I could have egg whites, chicken, and then this other quote unquote protein source. It used to be, it's not on the market anymore. I think like someone actually sued them for like false labeling. It used to be called HumaPro. It was just a BCAA, but it was labeled that it had 20 grams of protein in it, and it didn't. It was just BCAAs. And so I drank a lot of that, and that's how I went from 130 to 98 pounds in 4 months. It was awful.
So bad. So
terrible.
Like it just blows my mind that this is still like, if you're just going to give somebody like just protein and veggies, right? Like say you wanted to do that, because that's a feasible thing for certain people and certain goals, at least give them like fatty cuts of, you know what I mean? Like, so you're at least getting like some of that, you know, but like there is just something, and obviously we use like a lower fat approach with a lot of our clients to diet, especially competitors. But like, Jesus, you still need some. And like, if you're going to do that, you also need carbs. You know what I mean? You can't just have like spinach and tilapia for every meal. Like, it's just, it is so scary, but people still do it. It still happens. It still goes on.
I wasn't allowed to have salt either.
Oh, that's my favorite. You're like,
no sodium. I was still running a lot for soccer, and my job at the time was a soccer referee, and I would be in the sun for like 5 hours at a time, reffing games, just like sweating, and then I'd wonder why I'd like faint the next morning after waking up, like. So it was awful.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So that was, we know those feels.
Yeah, my gosh. Okay, last one for the never have I ever is, never have I ever asked a stranger to film me in the gym.
Definitely.
I haven't, but I feel like people will come up and offer. Like you'll prop your phone off in the corner, or you'll have your camera set up and you'll be like, I could film it for you. No, thank you. I perfectly fine with my little setup over here.
Danielle would be like, no.
Yeah, again, I can't think of a time where I would have been like, oh, I remember asking this stranger, but there were certainly people. And I mean, I don't know, like if you have like a gym culture, even if you go to a big gym, you kind of see the same people. So like, are they really strangers, right? I'm not asking like some random person who just like on the street to film me. Like it's like the gym people. But no, I will definitely, like, if I need something that's done that I obviously know a little bit more about like how to film stuff. But when I first started, like I didn't fucking know how to film anything. So yeah, we would just have people, and you know, whether our training partners or like other people, like if I need to send a video to someone, like I got to get this done. So, hey, can you film this? Sure. Okay. You know, most people are totally cool with that. And even if you're not comfortable with that, right? Like, that's fine. It's easy to prop stuff up. If you're training somewhere, this is a totally random aside, but if you're training somewhere and you're like, I don't really want to bother anyone, but you're trying to go for a heavy lift or you're trying to push yourself, do not be afraid to ask for a spot. Most people, like 95% of people, unless you come across some, you know, super weird person who's like, no, I won't help you. Most people are going to be like, yeah, no problem, you know, and they might not even need to help you. But if you're like really trying to push something, like, and you're like, I'm just scared to ask someone, and you blow out your rotator cuff because you were trying to like incline press something that you couldn't do, it's not worth it. So do you always need a spot? Certainly not. But if you're really trying to push yourself and you're nervous about asking someone, most people at gyms are more than happy to help. So that's a totally random, and was not what the question was, but I get that a lot with clients. Like, I didn't want to ask anyone, and then I kind of tweak. No, you got to ask, or we just can't push that weight. You know, like there's either option.
The people that work at the gym, like half the time they're just sitting at their desk, like I don't want to say not doing anything, but you could always, if you don't feel comfortable asking people who are actually training, go ask one of them and they'll be like, hell yeah. Like, I'm sure they don't want to be sitting at their computer like all day. They would much rather be helping you like squat or bench something.
For sure. So, okay. So, sorry, random tangent, but I had to say that.
That's a good point though.
Yeah. Okay. So now, because it is, well, this week that we're recording, it is, well, week that it's coming out, it is Valentine's week. So we thought this would be funny. We thought this would be funny in general, but
Also trending on TikTok right now. So we had to keep up with the trend.
trending. So we wanted to do it. So rapid fire, smash or pass.
I'm excited.
Okay. Starting out hot and heavy. Britney Spears.
Pass.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Current or old? Like current Britney or
Current Britney? Pass.
The
Current
Toxic
Britney, pass.
Britney, when that first like CD launched, smash. Like that was my first album that I got when I was a kid.
I had a Britney Spears trading card, and I remember looking at that and being like, I will never be that pretty. She is so pretty. And that's when I went for really brown eyes. And now look at her. I feel so bad.
yeah.
You sound like
little
Moira
hot
right
mess.
there.
Tim, you're way prettier than her.
Yeah, and your eyes are way pretty. Like you have.
I know.
beautiful eyes.
Why would you ever? I'm like, I would love to have blue eyes. Like, why
Right?
would you ever ask for brown eyes?
But yeah,
She was-
so current
Yeah.
pass.
Current, we're all like, that's a hard no. Okay. Next, Darth Vader.
Oh, y'all already know. Smash all day. That is Bay.
Pass.
He can
Pass.
wear the mask too. Like I'm good with, like both is fine. Like ideally, actually, I want the mask on, so I wanna get the full experience.
Some
You can
kinky
have him
stuff.
Yeah, y'all know he's my favorite. So yes. All day.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
Smash.
Yeah, smash. I'm using the wrong words. Totally.
Pass.
Robert
Why?
Downey Jr. Is he too
Especially as Iron Man.
Pass.
Wow.
I'm not a Marvel person. I'm not a superhero person.
Okay, he's in other movies, but also his character as Iron Man is fucking hilarious. He's just hilarious. Like I love that character. You know what I mean?
You can't
Sorry.
sit with us.
You
That's
can
because I'm happy to respect my boundaries, and I'm not gonna fuck Iron Man. Okay. Okay.
okay.
Okay. But speaking of superheroes, this next one, I'll make an exception. Thor. Smash.
Yes.
Smash.
All day. What about Fat Thor?
No. Pass.
He's so funny. He still has. Here's the thing,
He's
though.
so funny. Yeah.
He got a little dad bod going, but I'm still there for it, right? Because it's like, all right, I can look past this.
Alcoholic Thor.
I'm gonna keep my eyes up here, and you're funny. So that's honestly more important than your probably fake Hollywood abs. If we're really being serious, clearly I would take regular Thor, but I will also take drunk Fat Thor because.
Sam, have you even seen all the movies though? Do you even know what we're talking about with Fat Thor?
No, but I've seen the pictures, and I would still jump on board. Yeah.
Oh, all day. I just look past.
Okay.
It's all good.
I think this is our last superhero, but Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Pass.
Smash. I'm sorry, I love his character. Like, I just love the new Spider-Man movies. Everyone thinks he's annoying, but I love it.
I've actually never seen them, but I can't.
I really like him as an actor. Like he was really good in Devil All the Time as well. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Him and Iron Man's relationship is just like adorable too. I'm like,
Yeah, but
He looks exactly like my little brother, so I'm gonna have to say pass. My brother gets all the time. My brother gets it all the time. Like, you look like the guy who plays Spider-Man, like all the time, and so I just gotta. No.
Uncomfortable. Yeah.
Okay. This one we did not talk about, but Roland from Schitt's Creek.
Roland. Oh no.
Oh God. Oh God, I will be, what's that word on the internet? People who don't have sex, an incel. Oh my God, I will become an incel before.
Oh my gosh. The only thing I think about in that is that scene where they're all having dinner and he's like grabbing like whatever in the cheese dish. And then he finally finds it.
Dude, I just cannot stand him. Like, I get that he is supposed to be like a super annoying, funny one, but he is just like, oh my God, I cannot, like, it has nothing to do with what he looks like. It's just his personality. Like, I would legitimately have to like ball gag him and like put something over his face so he could never speak during the process. But like, it would just be like, just don't speak. Oh my God.
Next, Arnold. Current Arnold.
Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yes, current.
I thought we were still in Schitt's Creek. I'm like, who the fuck is that character?
No. Arnold. The Arnold. Current 70-something-year-old Arnold. I feel like you got it for the clout.
Oh, well, okay. Is that clout though?
I think
I wouldn't even with old Arnold though. Like,
you don't have to say when it happened, just that you did it.
I mean, I'm gonna be thinking about this one. I'm not sure. Obviously, Sam is a smash because she's like, yeah, please, someone else say yes.
I think my husband would actually divorce me if I passed.
True.
There was this video of him like on his Instagram live or like a reel where he's talking and like everyone like cut out this point where he's like, forget your freedoms, like when everyone was like talking. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, he said some dicey shit recently.
Yeah. Some like people from Mark Bell's gym talked about it. So I was like, I don't know.
He literally said, fuck you
wild these days.
Like his clip.
Yeah.
Anyways, different topic, but I feel like I mean, I don't know. Maybe just the experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, just
that's what I'm saying. Okay, next one. Edward Cullen or Batman.
Wait, is that movie already out?
No, Edward Cullen is not. It's Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson, yes, but same person, different character.
Oh, who's Edward Cullen?
The guy from Twilight?
Batman.
Oh, I've never seen Twilight.
And Twilight, Edward Cullen.
Well, if you're screwing the new Batman, you're screwing Edward Cullen. So we have to think of it that way.
No.
He's also in The Devil All the Time with Tom Holland.
No.
Yeah, I'm a pass.
I'm a pass. Because Christian Bale is Batman. That's it. I mean, I know it's not. I know it's not. I get it. But that's the best Batman.
Okay.
Case closed. And yeah, Edward Cullen, he's gonna really have to surprise me with his performance, is all I gotta say, in this new one for me to like give him some credit. Because even though Ben Affleck wasn't a great Batman, he was still okay and like definitely a smash. But I don't know.
Okay.
His Twilight boy manages.
Aaron Samuels from Mean Girls.
Who?
Sorry, who's that again?
That's
Aaron Samuels.
The main guy.
The Aaron.
He's
like,
actually gay, right?
He's actually gay in real life, yes, but in the movie,
I don't know. What does he look like now? I feel like they were in high school. It's such like a hard thing to judge.
Exactly the same. He looks exactly the same, just like with a few more wrinkles on his face, I swear.
And I'm sure he looks better because guys look better with wrinkles, which is so annoying.
Okay.
I mean, you know what I mean.
Even then, I was a pass. I'm not. He's not.
Yeah, I don't know.
They could have casted it a little better. But...
Yeah, pass.
Tom Brady.
Pass.
So fast.
Hear that?
What happened?
Did he go?
Just yelled, Tom Brady.
No, we did not hear that. But here's my only I'm feeling like a pass, but like there's gotta be something going on if he's married to Giselle, like, right? Like there's maybe something that we're missing. So I'm not gonna rule it out completely because she seems like she would have good taste. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a hard smash.
Yeah, he's not like my type, but I'm like, if that is your wife, there's got to be something that like I don't know about that maybe I should experience, you know?
Just his work ethic and like mindset alone make him a smash for me.
Yeah.
Also, I have to fight my husband for him too, so clearly.
Okay. I mean, maybe he's into that, you know, there's options. So
Probably. You guys,
when you come visit,
Karina?
we could, you know, make a proposition when you come to Tampa next time. Just, you know, we'll find out where he lives and just, hey, we're in the area, you know.
Maybe he'll listen to this podcast.
Yeah, maybe he's
Like a full
definitely
pass?
listening.
Yeah,
I don't want smashing Tom Brady.
No, well, I'm a maybe.
You guys got to think about the totality of the situation. He is a
Right.
billionaire.
Yeah, I
almost.
just thought like, no, but I didn't think about his money, his clout.
All you're doing is
His
smashing.
advantages.
It's not like you're marrying. You're like,
Yeah.
you're not getting his money. Like,
Well, that's what
Are
I'm
you,
saying.
though?
That's why I was like, no, I'm good. I can't. I would be like,
One thing
I'm
leads
good,
to
bro.
another.
Okay. Last one.
Megan Fox.
Oh, smash
No!
all fucking day.
There's so many more.
Okay, well, smash.
Smash.
Okay, smash.
keep going. We'll try. We'll rapid fire. No more explaining. More.
Yoda.
Who?
Yoda.
Pass.
Pass.
Oh no.
He would be like a grandfather to me.
Pass.
Can't do that to my
Lindsay
grandma.
Lohan.
Pass.
Current. Lindsay Lohan.
Pass.
Who's Little Hand? What?
Lindsay.
Lohan.
Oh, I was like, is that a rapper?
Oh, we should have put rappers on there.
Little Hand.
Little Wayne.
No, I love him, but no.
Pass.
Not like that.
Pass. Last one for real. And Danielle, I'm sorry you won't get this one, but Mr. Big.
Smash.
I have not seen it in a hot minute. So I feel like y'all are much more invested in the character than I am.
Who is that?
He's
Chris
like
North.
the main guy that like Carrie is like after in Sex and the City.
Oh,
And they have a very tumultuous relationship, but I like it. So I feel like I would say smash, like, you know what I mean? Like I you know, everybody's drawn to like that toxic relationship that you probably shouldn't be in, but like maybe you can change it, but they probably won't, but like we'll try. So
I like the relationship when they're married in the movie. Like,
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but yeah, I'll say smash. Fuck it.
Okay, we can stop there. I think that's most of it.
That was very fun. So if you guys want to hear more fun, silly podcasts, give us topics. We like doing these every once in a while. And if you like this week's episode, please share it. This is the best way you can support our show. To check out our coaching services, courses we offer, and additional content we put out, visit teamlocofit.com and follow us on Instagram at Team LoCoFit. And we will talk to you guys next week.
bye. Peace
Bye.
sign.
I can't stop.